All right, guys, let's do the thing that I was always meant to do, which is talk about role players. A couple things. Number one, there's a sponsor. Number two, the rules of this, as always, the cap is about 13, 14 a game, so some casualties of that are like Ryan Rollins, AJ Mitchell, Grayson Allen, Rui. At the end of the vid, we'll do a very big, long list. There will be Lakers in there, trust me. Mr. Steven Adams, 5 offensive rebounds a game, helping the Rockets be one of the best offensive rebounding teams of all time. The last Rockets game that I was really locked in on was their one against the Cavs like a week ago, and I got 2 signature Adams offensive boards. I got one where, with one arm, he keeps it away from Allen, Mitchell, and Mobley, and then it becomes Rockets ball out of bounds. The other one, he just swats it back to Kevin Durant for a 3 that effectively was a Steven Adams assist. It's good stuff, but on top of that, in that same game, you got defensive possessions where he's like getting high enough on a Donovan Mitchell screen to just not allow him a runway, but then he gets back to Jared Allen around the free throw line covering distance. He had some good screens to get Reed Shepherd, Aaron Holiday free. He even had one good switch possession on Mitchell where he just pressured him like crazy. Adams is good, man. Next up, if we're going to talk about offensive rebounding, we should mention the one guy who has a higher offensive rebound percentage than Adams, and that's Mitch. I will still never forget what he did to the Celtics in that round 2 series. Every time I talk about the Knicks this season, I say they need Mitch. We all know they need Mitch. He might be the most unique player in the league at this point, because I don't know who else is just so extreme in every direction. One of the worst free throw shooters ever this season so far. One of the best offensive rebounders ever. Guys just bounce off of him. And also he plays like 15 minutes a game, and whenever he's in there, the lineup numbers, you couldn't make them more positive. I mean, can you think of another player in the league who makes his team 9 points better per 100 possessions on offense, and yet averages 4 points and shoots 20% on the free throw line? Like, it's crazy. I know, I'm just reading numbers, but sometimes the numbers just tell the whole story. Next up, the other guy on the thumbnail, Davion for the Heat. Miami has many guys you could put into this, like Khalil Ware is about to score too much for this list. Putting up a very efficient 10-7 with not a lot of turnovers, and being the pesky defender he is. Like, there were 2 recent games, one against the Bucks, where besides a number of possessions where he switches onto Miles Turner and just gets into like a wrestling match off the ball to not give him any positioning, you got to play where like he starts on Rollins, he picks him up full court, and then he switches between Rollins, Kuzma, Turner, I think Rollins a second time, and then he ends up on Turner and then just blocks him out and creates this like 6-foot-tall brick wall that Turner can't get a rebound on. And then in the Dallas game they just had, he would like double off of Max Christie on Brandon Williams, sprint back to Max Christie, and then steal it from behind on him. Like, it's just crazy. And then offensively, so you see the 10 points or the 9 points or whatever it is right now, and you might think that Davion just kind of floats around the 3-point line and makes simple passes, and like, yeah, that's part of it. But a good amount of his assists or passes where he doesn't get the assist, but he starts everything, he will drive. Like, he will take guys in one-on-ones. He will push in transition. He will challenge guys. He will make the defense rotate. I mean, just in recent games, I've seen him beat Ryan Rollins, Ryan Nembhard, Buddy Hield all off the dribble to create something, whether it's a lob to Ware or a kick out to Wiggins or something for Bam, you get it. In this Miami offense of way less screens on the ball than most teams. Before we get back to it, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. So I'll admit that while of course I was watching the games and noticing when the courts were a super bright color, I didn't really know the details of the in-season tournament at all this season, and then before I know it, boom, we have a quarterfinals. And I think the quarterfinals games are usually the best parts because you get the home crowd. Hopefully Wemby and Castle are healthy for the Laker game, and I feel like Knicks-Raptors in Toronto is going to be really fun. Regardless, if I wanted to go to an NBA game, an in-season tournament game, or any concert, sporting event, festival, many things, then I would use SeatGeek as I have in the past, and it's always been a good time. And you can use my code FunkyDiabetic10 for 10% off your next order at SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app, and there's over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek. And it rates deals on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Just look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. FunkyDiabetic10, 10% off. Okay, next up, we are going to go to the Spurs. I expected to have Luke Cornett here. He can be in the long list. I actually want to talk about Keldon Johnson because I think that Keldon has reinvented himself for this team, and he is no longer the guy who's averaging like 20 a game and we're like, okay, but what is this? Well, what it is now is a whole lot of offensive rebounds and just taking the right shots in the flow of the Spurs offense to have the best efficiency of his career. I mean, going through some of these offensive rebounds, like he's beaten Tamani Kamara, Okongwu, Steven Adams, and Tari Eason on one play. And then scoring-wise, I mean, it's two-handed dunks, it's backdoor cuts, it's drives, it's just, again, playing in the flow of things. But also, he's bodying guys up. I mean, he was big body Keldon Johnson from the moment he showed up, right? I mean, I've seen him go through Shaedon Sharpe, Reese Shea. In the Grizzlies game they just had, like, he has multiple drives at Wells or Coward or Aldama. We have reached peak Keldon Johnson. It's 12 points a game, way better efficiency, way more offensive rebounds. Yeah, he's shooting 32% from three, but he's still very efficient overall. And also taking less threes as well. Next up, speaking of threes, let's go to Mamu with the Raptors, also known as Sandro Mamukelashvili. You have to know how to say that now, because he's really good. He averages 10 points. The efficiency goes crazy. Of course, he's a very good shooter, so pick and pops, that's a given with, Quickly, Ingram, Scotty, RJ, whoever. I think Mamu's real superpower is his mobility. Like, the way that he can just flash to three with his speed and his size, when they've got a center guarding him, it puts them in really tough spots, man. It helps that he has a really fast release with his lefty, slingshot form. But also, he'll be stationed in the corner, and just him there is such a weapon because he's also getting backdoor cuts on. He can drive off the catch. He can beat guys off the dribble if you give him space. They use him as a DHO guy at the top of the key as well. He flies in transition with and without the ball. Mamu is, on a per-minute basis, just a hell of an offensive player, man. I mean, it took me 2 games watching the Raptors this year to just be yeah, when he's in the game, these are my favorite minutes. No disrespect to Pirtle, but when Mamu's out there, it's just so cool. Anyway, who's next? Let's go Isaiah Stewart. Technically, Asar could qualify for this, but I want to talk about Stu. I gave this one away in the Pistons video. So Stu, of course he's tough, adds to the Pistons' physicality, the whole thing. But he has now grown into having pretty insane rim protection numbers, and he's found enough ways to contribute as a scorer, whether it's sealing guys in transition, of course offensive rebounds. He is making his threes this year. He still isn't taking a whole lot, but they are going in. And in the Pistons video I just did, I called out plays where, he'll be high enough on a Ja Morant screen, but then he will do the Draymond thing where he'll somehow get back to swat the lob pass meant to be for Jock Landale. He locked up Jalen Johnson on a one-on-one, ISO drive late in that game. But also in the Philly game, you've got him, locking up Quentin Grimes in the corner or blocking Quentin Grimes at the rim, just a beautiful straight-up contest. Actually, I don't think it was a block. I think it was just a miss. Stu's great. Next up, Colin Gillespie with the Suns. Grayson and Dylan Brooks, who have both made it before, scoring too much for this. It's a good thing I did this now, because he might have been continuing to score so much that he would have played himself out of this, similar to Ryan Rollins. But the thing with Gillespie that gets me the most is he will pull out these crossovers in such tight windows within the three-point line, and he somehow manages to do it. He gets guys off balance just enough. He did that one to Jaden, where he drove at him on a screen, and it was around the free throw line, and Jaden, he kind of stops for a second, because you can tell, he's all right, I got him, and then the dribble stays alive, he somehow manages this crossover, and he turns it into a fading two. I'm how did he do that? Jaden's how did he do that? Jordan Knott has given him some Spain pick and rolls, where Dylan Brooks will be the second screener after Mark Williams or something. I love his hesitations before screens. I love his relocations off the ball. You can also see him just building confidence with his three off the dribble. he had this one just snatch back dribble three, if that's the term to use, against Reed Shepherd, where I'm just oh my god. And he's a good passer. The thing he did to Jaden with the crossover and around the free throw line, he did that to Malik Monk as well for one particular play in the Kings game. Anyway, a couple more and then we go to the very long list. Anthony Black with the Magic. It's going to be between him and De Silva. You could make the case for either one. De Silva's been a little more efficient, but I mean, Black has just continued what he really started in his second season, which was being more aggressive and just being a threat to score, a threat to get downhill, a threat to catch lob passes, while still being the passer and team defender that he's been from the beginning, the smart player he's been from the beginning. Next, I got to have somebody from OKC in here. It would just be kind of ridiculous not to. So many guys on their team qualify. AJ Mitchell's scoring a little too much. I'm just going to go Cason. And now I know steals and deflections are not the whole thing defensively. We know Cason's an awesome defensive player. But also, he is getting a lot of steals and deflections, as OKC does. And the variety of steals that Cason gets are cool. Sometimes it's just coming out of nowhere to freak out DeAndre Ayton, who thought he was open in the middle of the floor, or locking up Con Knipple one-on-one, or swiping at Ant from behind on a screen. And then offensively, Cason's efficient at what they need him to do. He had a huge three in the fourth quarter of that Suns game they just had, where the Suns did take him down to the wire, where he screened for SGA beforehand, because I have to point that out. Sam Merrill put on a Steph Curry impression for a while there for the Cavs. Jalen Tyson gave them some much-needed scoring. The last one before we go to the very long list, if I can be a Celtics fan, Neemias Queta. The advanced stats have gone on long enough. My eye test has gone on long enough. He's good, man. Like, to have a reliable center is just so awesome this season. And, I mean, he's cleaned up the fouls enough. They do still get up there sometimes. He's more disciplined defensively, stays down, doesn't contest too early as much, all that stuff. And he's also very good at just knowing where to be to receive dump-off passes. Like, he had a number of baskets versus Gobert in their last one where it's just Jalen or D. White drive, and he's like, okay, well, if I stand here, then I can get the easy pass. It's basic stuff, but not every big man gets this. All right, it's time for the very, very long list, and it's so many names that it's just going to be a picture of Queta the whole time. I'm sorry, because of course you care about that. Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia. Anybody on the Thunder who's not averaging like 15 a game. Asar could have been in the main list, but I just wanted to talk about Stu more. To stick with the Pistons, Duncan Robinson and Dennis Jenkins. CMB is right next to Mamu in a lot of those lineups that I love. Vic Krejci as well as Mo Gay for the Hawks. Pella Larson for Miami, and perhaps Drew Smith if I want to go real niche. And again, Khalil Ware. I mentioned Tristan Da Silva. He could have been right up there with Anthony Black. AJ Green for the Bucks. Josh Minot for my Celtics with his ridiculous wingspan. I do love to put rookies in this list, but Kalkbrenner, he'll get the mention here. He was definitely deserving of this. Diabate as well, you could put him in there. Mark Williams, Valanciunas, and Peyton Watson. Josh Okogie was doing good stuff for the Rockets. Reed Shepherd, based on how he's played lately, like he's probably going to score too much to be in this, but okay. Luke Cornett, as I mentioned in the Keldon part, I thought he was going to end up being in the main thing, but he played like 10 games, so whatever. I gave it to Keldon. Will Richard, Max Christie, Jose Alvarado. I think that's it. Have a good one, guys.